Visual. The calm blue Earth seen from space. Gentle music hums. Suddenly, silence. Then a deep, echoing rumble builds beneath the sound of the wind. Narrator, serious, measured. Imagine this. It's an ordinary day. The sky is blue. The oceans move as they always have. And then, without warning, the world stops. For 10 seconds, the planet beneath your feet no longer turns. No sunrise. No rotation. Just stillness. And in that stillness, everything changes. Cut to black. Title fades in. What if Earth stopped spinning for 10 seconds? Introduction. Setting the stage. Narrator. The Earth spins at over 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. That motion, constant, invisible, is what keeps everything in balance. Our days and nights. Our winds and tides. Our sense of gravity itself. But what would happen if that rotation suddenly halted? Visual. A city skyline at sunrise. The light freezes mid-glow. If, for just 10 seconds, the Earth stopped turning, then started again, how would the planet and every living thing on it survive those 10 seconds of silence? Section 1. The Science of Rotation. Narrator. To understand what would unfold, we first have to grasp what's at stake. Every object on Earth, every car, every mountain, every person, is carried eastward by the planet's spin. At the equator, that means you're moving faster than a bullet fired from a gun. Even if you can't feel it. It's this rotation that gives us day and night, that stabilizes our climate, that keeps the oceans from pooling endlessly toward the poles. Visual. The globe spinning slowly, overlays speed measurements at different latitudes. Now, remove that motion. Instantly. Completely. And everything not attached to solid rock keeps moving. Section 2. The first second. Narrator. The moment Earth stops spinning, inertia takes over. Visual. Cars flying, skyscrapers shattering, oceans surging forward. Everything that was moving eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour is suddenly thrust forward. In the first second, the air itself becomes a weapon. Atmospheric momentum doesn't stop with the ground. It tears across the planet like a global shockwave. Hurricane-force winds, stronger than anything humanity has ever recorded, race eastward. Buildings disintegrate. Forests flatten. Cities are stripped bare in an instant. The oceans, too, surge eastward. Massive tsunamis rise hundreds of meters tall, collapsing against every coast. The Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian Ocean, they all rush toward land at once. Section 3. 5 seconds into chaos. Narrator. By the 5th second, the planet is unrecognizable. Visual. Satellite view. Massive waves sweeping continents, debris swirling in the air. Continents are drenched. Mountain ranges, those immovable spines of Earth, stand as walls against unstoppable floods. People near the equator are hit hardest. There, the rotational speed is greatest. Entire regions, South America, Africa, Indonesia, face winds powerful enough to erase landscapes. Nearer the poles, where the rotation speed is slower, the destruction is less total, but the chaos is still unimaginable. Inland, the air pressure shifts violently. Oxygen thins. Dust clouds rise. The very atmosphere begins to tear from the planet's surface. Section 4. 10 seconds. The still world. Narrator. And then, at last, it's still. Visual. Silence. The Earth no longer spins. Cities lie in ruin. A gray haze fills the air. For 10 seconds, the world has stopped. Gravity remains. Earth's mass hasn't changed. But the sudden pause fractures the planet's crust. Tectonic plates grind violently against each other. Mega-earthquakes ripple from every fault line. Volcanoes awaken. The sky turns dark with ash and dust. Temperature drops as the rotation that once mixed warm and cool air vanishes. In those brief 10 seconds, Earth systems begin to collapse. Not because the planet stopped forever, but because motion itself, momentum, was betrayed. Section 5. The Aftermath. Resuming rotation. Narrator. Then, suddenly, it begins again. The Earth resumes spinning, picking up speed, reclaiming its rotation. But now, everything that was thrown eastward is thrown back. Visual, reversed winds, waves pulling back into oceans, fires igniting from friction. The planet's crust groans under the strain. The core lurches. Magnetic fields distort. A second wave of devastation races across the continents. Fires ignite from friction and impact. Cities that survived the first blast are crushed by the second. The oceans retreat, dragging millions of tons of debris back with them. When it's finally over, the world's rotation is restored. But civilization is gone. Section 6. Comparison to reality. Narrator. Of course, this is a thought experiment. Physics tells us the forces required to stop Earth's rotation are beyond imagination. It would take the energy of trillions of nuclear bombs detonated at once. An act that would vaporize the planet entirely. Yet, scientists have studied what slower shifts might mean. Earth's rotation does change, by milliseconds, over centuries. Melting glaciers, shifting oceans, even large earthquakes subtly alter how the planet spins. In 2011, the massive Tohoku earthquake in Japan shortened our day by 1.8 microseconds. Just enough to measure, not enough to feel. Visual, split screen, chaos of the imagined world versus calm precision of real science. So while the planet will never stop spinning for 10 seconds, its delicate balance is not as eternal as it seems. Section 7. The hidden consequences. Narrator. Even imagining this scenario reveals how fragile our systems are. The spin of the Earth shapes everything. Without it, there is no Coriolis effect, no trade winds, no jet streams, no life-sustaining weather. The magnetic field that shields us from solar radiation would collapse over time. The moon's orbit, tied to our rotation, would drift. Days would stretch into months. One side of Earth would bake in endless daylight, while the other froze beneath eternal night. All life, human, animal, microbial, depends on the rhythm of this rotation. Every sunrise you've ever seen, every tide, every breath of wind, is born from motion. Section 8. Reflection. The bigger picture. Visual. The Earth spinning again, calm, beautiful, fragile. Narrator. 10 seconds. That's all it would take for our world to fall apart. Not from invasion or war. Not from technology or time. But from the simple act of stopping. The spin of our planet is the heartbeat of existence. It's what separates day from night, chaos from order, life from silence. To stop it, even in thought, is to see how thin the line really is between the world we know and the one we could lose. Closing, final reflection and teaser. Narrator, quiet, reflective. So, the next time you feel the wind against your face, remember, it's not just air. It's the movement of a world in motion. A world that, for now, keeps turning. Pause, cinematic silence. But it does make you wonder. What if the moon stopped orbiting us next? Visual. The Earth from space. The moon slowly freezes in the sky. Music fades to black. End screen. Subscribe for more what ifs.